Another update on the 60-gallon system. Today it's day 126, so that makes it week 18 since redoing the tank, and it's doing great. No complaints. Had a slight alkalinity issue, which affected a couple corals. I lost my largest colony of acans, which is pretty sad, and my Tyree blue chalice started bleaching slightly from the center, but that has since stopped, since correcting the issue. But there's also some other things that have been happening with the tank over the last few weeks that you all might find interesting. I did some new aquascaping on the tank, I'll get into that, and the rose bubble tip anemones have been doing some cool stuff, and I will show you what they've been doing. As you can see here, no issues, still no problems with the MP10 here, sucking them up, nothing happening, no damage. But what we got over here? Oh, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 rose bubble tip anemones. Yep, that's right. One of the clones from the first split has thrown off the clone. The one down here in the bottom right, that was one of the original clones from this guy here, and this one threw this clone off a couple weeks ago. I think not too long actually after the last update that happened, and these anemones are doing really good, fully healed, eating, good coloration, so I'm pleased with that. And they're all staying over here on this side of the tank, so yeah, check it out. 60-gallon system, 4 rose bubble tip anemones. It's pretty crazy. I got some other cool stuff happening in here. As you know, I started getting into the SPS corals, and I think I've been bit by that particular bug of SPS, and just the colors of the corals and just the way they look and just watching them grow is just, I don't know, something about it. I like it. I don't know, it's like gardening for men. I don't know. But as you can see here, the aquascape has been changed. This rock right here is one large rock. If you recall these Redactus mushrooms from my previous videos, for those of you that have seen it, this rock was actually up like this, you know, so if you just took it and turned it up 90 degrees, it was here, and I just laid it down. And what I did was, I took a rock and I placed it here, a small rock, and I put a small rock here, so this entire rock right here is just kind of like a platform just sitting on top of these smaller rocks, and it's created a really nice cave. So you have a cave right here. So the yellow tang, which just loves that he sleeps in here, so he can go in through here, all the way around, out, and come out. If you can see the reflection over here, see this rock? He can come out from right here around the pulsing zinnia or out through in front of the zinnia. So it's actually allowing for quite a bit more water movement behind it. So I really like it, and this rock here I took and it was sitting this way, and I just rotated it out that way. To make room for this rock here. So that rock's just kind of leaning against the back, and it's good. I like it a lot. I went ahead and moved the calistria down here to this smaller rock. You know, as you know, it was mounted kind of in this section here of the rock, and as the rock turned up, and it was just sitting up high, and it just looked awkward. It didn't really fit right. So, and plus there's a lot of current, because where the current from this power head comes here, and from the other MP10 comes in here, is just a little too turbulent for such a fleshy LPS coral. So let's get into some of the corals that are in here, some of the new ones, and show you what's going on with the SPS primarily. Up over here, you can see this small little frag. It's a deep purple with these neon green coralites, you know, little polyps on it, and they just look amazing. Almost as bright as the Tyree toastal. The Tyree toastal is pretty bright. I say it's the equivalent. This acro, for those of you that have been following my videos, is just taking off like crazy. I mean, this thing is gangbusters. It's just going nuts. I mean, it's rotated a little bit, so this isn't the view that you normally see of it, but as you can see, lots of new growth on that one. And here's some cool stuff going on. You got the pink millie on the left there, and as you can see where all the new growth is occurring, just all those lighter colored coralites. Yeah, a lot of that's new, so it's getting acclimated really well to the system, and it should start shooting off in the near future. And down here you're going to see the smaller frag in the bottom of the frame. This is an ORA red planet, and you know, I've never really seen the ORA corals in person. You see the pictures online and they just look amazing. I can tell you right now that they look just as they do online. No Photoshop and no tricks there. I mean, they're just very vivid. And it's a very hardy coral. I put this one in the system, and within literally like 10 minutes, if that, the polyps were already out and just swaying in the current. So really good hardy piece. You know, many years the colony that they frag these from has been in captivity, so it's a little bit more pricey to get a frag like this, but it's pretty much a guarantee that it's going to survive and it's really going to thrive in our environments inside of our tanks. Moving on, as you can see here, something else I'm excited about, that encrusting Monipora there. Yeah, it's this bright orange with these neon green polyps. Really good looking coral, growing well in the system. And in the bottom right corner of the frame, you're going to see these spongiodes, and it's not doing as well as it was when I initially got it. As you can see, a lot of the fluorescent green has kind of vanished, but some of it's coming back. It's just this really dark purple color. The polyps come out, and other than that, it's healthy. You know, it just doesn't have the best coloration on it. Move over here, show you something else that's new. I got this frag right here, this little bird's nest frag from a local reefer. I was helping him redo his 120-gallon tank in a similar fashion that I did my system, and you know, in the process, stuff breaks off and you find things behind the rockwork, and we found this piece, and he gave it to me. As you can see, like about half of it on the bottom is pretty much dead, but all this is on the tips here is just looking good and growing. It's starting to recover nicely, so you know, you can't beat free, and I'm curious to see how this does in here. It seems to be doing well so far. And then over here we got this guy right here, this Echinata. This is a Hawking's Echinata from ORA, excuse me, and the color of this coral is a little bit brighter than you're seeing in the video, and it is identical to what you see on the website. And it's just, once again, you know, the corals from ORA, you know, until you see them in person, you really can't truly appreciate it, you know, especially when you see how much these frags are. But once you see them for yourself, you know, you understand why they are priced the way they're priced. Very nice piece, gorgeous. And you can see up in the top left corner, that acro, the green one with the blue tips, has grown quite a bit. Good polyp extension, doing fantastic. Bali green slimer, looking good as always. Okay, we got some new stuff over here. There's actually 3 things that are new in this frame. First off, up in the very top, you're going to see a Millie up there. It's actually brown. The colony that this came off of was from the same guy's tank who I helped, you know, his 120. And we found this little frag on the bottom of the tank. He just gave it to me, and you know, I went ahead and mounted it up here in the tank, and it's doing really well. The colony it came from is just a gorgeous colony. It's so the potential for this little piece, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing it meet that. Just below it, you're going to see this blue coral, and that's an Oregon tort, and it's got a little nickname to it, calling it Curly Sue, because you can see it comes up and it just curls back around because it was kind of growing out from below the colony and it was reaching up for light. So hopefully on the portions that are facing straight up, get some good branching from there, so looking forward to that. And in the very front here on the frag plug, the eyesore of a frag plug, you have a purple Veleta. This piece here came from a gorgeous colony, very deep purple, and all the new growth around the base of the coral is like a fluorescent green. So I'm really looking forward to see how this coral does and if it turns into the same in my system. Then over here to the left, you're going to see the acro on top there. I mean, the green on it is just crazy bright. Look at the bright green of that thing. Looking good. Lots of new growth going on it. Can't complain about it whatsoever. No complaints there. The Meliopora over here, the one on the bottom here on the left, it's lost some of its brilliance. You know, it's not quite as bright as it was, but the growth on it is really evident. You can see that one tip there. It has 3 other little branches coming out of it, and around the frag plug, come around here, you'll be able to see a lot of the growth onto the frag plug, so that's always a plus. Good polyp extension. Then we got this guy over here. You got the blue tort. This coral is doing really good. It's maintaining a lot of its blue color. It's got a little bit of brown going on. I've tried it in a couple different places to see if it changes, so we'll see what happens with that coral. Good polyp extension, so I'm not too concerned with it as far as health, but hopefully get a little more color out of it. Go ahead and pull back real quick and I'll show you the aquascape, the way it looks from this angle. So you're looking down the tank, this is what you see. Really cool. As you can see over here, you know, the tank can come in, you can swim through here, you can swim all the way through here, and you can look all the way in there. It goes all the way through, so got a nice cave going on. Corals are all doing pretty good over here. The Akinechinata bottom left is doing great, really fat. Little maze brain is doing good. And believe it or not, this coral here, this particular Manipora undata is what I'm thinking it is. This coral will not show any polyps unless it is down here on the sand bed. I've tried placing it up high and it just will not show polyps, but down here it does. So down here it's going to stay for a while and we'll see what happens with that. Some of the Duncans are over here now from the old piece that I rescued, and they're doing good. A lot of current. As you can see, I mean, when the bubble coral was over here, it was just getting hammered, so had to let that coral go. Acans are all doing really well. Lots of new growth on them. See if you can see the orange one here. That's where the real growth is happening. I mean, look at that thing. All over it. New polyps, new polyps. The one in the middle there has got a lot of new polyps on it too around it. All of them do. I mean, they're just doing good. Calistria is doing good as well. I also got these here, these candy canes for free. You know, another little discovery, and you know, the back of the tank, the other guy's tank, you know, it broke off and fallen, and it's getting a lot of its color back, eating like a champ. Tyree's toadstool, doing it big. Duncan's to the right of it. As you can see, they're kind of facing this way now. They were up like this, but there was a problem because, as you can see, the hammer is just turning into a monster. I mean, this thing isn't even fully expanded yet right now, and it gets a little bit larger, probably about another inch in all directions, and it's just out of control. The candy canes in the back are doing great. They're just huge and happy. The Scalemias are doing good, as you can see. Lobo's doing good. Little Chalice is doing just fine. The Welsophilia radiata, just huge. Orange torch, great. As you can see on the Tyree blue Chalice, you see where it's white in the middle. Yeah, little alkalinity issue caused that, but that's since been corrected and it's growing back just fine. Coral still eating, looking good. Lots of new mushrooms happening. Clams are over here now because they kept stirring up sand on the other side of the tank and just burying everything, so they're over here. They're a little more calm, they don't move as much, so that's good. The candy canes are doing great too over here. The one polyp on the top has 3 mouths on it now, so it should be splitting soon, and the Lobo is doing good too. Favia's doing great. Up here in the middle you're going to see the little Manipora capricornus. Hopefully it does well over there. And up top you see the frog spawns and of course some green star polyps, because you know I can't be without that. And if you noticed in the video, you know, there's not as many Aptasia. I went ahead and I borrowed a Aptasia zapper, and I wish I would have got a video to show you this and you could have shared in my enthusiasm as I was killing these huge Aptasias in the tank. So a lot of that's been cleared up. There's still quite a few smaller ones, but nothing near what it was before. So yeah, as of right now, week 18, day 126, tank is doing well. A lot of coralline algae growth on the back. Thinking about scraping it off. I'm not sure yet. I'll sit on it, think about it for a little while. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. You know, so that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, happy reefing. Take care.